Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, RGV, Sunday morning online spiritual experience. We are very happy that you have joined us here today for some time of prayer and affirmation, music and meditation. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We offer a unique approach to spirituality. We are love-based and all-inclusive. We embrace an open heart and an open mind. We are spiritual, not religious. As an interspiritual community and divine love in expression, we draw from and honor all paths to spirit. We envision a spiritually transformed, peaceful world. We have no dogma, but we do have 5 principles that guide our philosophy. Our foundational belief is in oneness, and our fundamental practice is mindfulness, that is being in the present moment. Once again, welcome to Unity, RGV. Today's announcements are a few. The first is an update. The board met Friday evening, and the update on the hall is that the people, the lawyers that or the adjusters that we have kind of hired, have come over and made their initial assessment. Now the insurance company is going to resend the other guys, and they're going to do their reassessment, and then they're going to figure out what to do and stuff, and try to come up with some settlement so that we can redo the hall. It kind of needs a lot of work. It really does. There's, and it's been that way for a while. It needs to be kind of semi-gutted out a little bit. Got mold in it and some other problems. But another option is the board might end up getting some funds from the trust fund so that we can get that going. As soon as things are settled in the monetary thing, it still might take a little time to actually get the money. So we could draw from there, start the process, and then just put the money back whenever we get it. So that's the update on the hall. The next thing is that the board has also decided to reopen, so for live services. And that will happen in 2 weeks, October 31st. And we do still recommend that you wear masks. Hopefully some of you have started to get your boosters. I know I did. And so we still recommend the masks and safe practices. I know that people have a little bit of fellowship, so we're gonna also have, probably in the bookstore back there, we'll have some coffee and just cookies or something if you want to just do that afterwards. And we remind you to try not to bring coffee into the sanctuary, because if you spill on the carpet, it's going to be a mess. But other than that, that'll be okay. Also, I had told you that I wanted to do the Dios of Muertos celebration on the 31st. So I still kind of want to do that. Now we're going to do it online. Now we're going to do it here. So I got to get with Marisa and see how we're going to do it. Maybe we'll show some slides of pictures, and I don't know what we're going to do just yet, but that will be for that day. And the final one is that I don't think you all knew, but I interviewed at Unity of Georgetown last month, and they have offered me a contract, and I'm going to accept it. And I start in January in Georgetown, Texas, which is just north of Austin. And so my last day here will be November the 30th. And so we have to work on trying to figure out the speaker thing after that. But anyway, just hang in there, and man, thank you. I've been here for 10 years in a leadership role. I've been here a little bit longer than that, but I've been here for 10 years on the board, and it's just time for a change, a new chapter. And so I wish you all the best, and wish me all the best, and we'll start another chapter. That's our announcements for today. Let's begin this morning with the lighting of the Unity candle and some affirmative words. I want you to think about the idea of transformation, about change. I break free from the illusion of limitation. My spiritual development is a journey of discovery and creation. Through the years, I've grown in insight and understanding, sometimes slowly, other times rapidly. I am always changing, always growing into my potential as a spiritual being, but sometimes it can feel as if I'm not making much progress. I remember that even though I may not be aware of my growth, it is happening. My development continues and continues always. It's ongoing. But there's also times when I have sudden inspiration or clarity, like a butterfly emerging from my chrysalis and spreading its colorful wings for the first time. I am utterly transformed by new understanding. The world feels new and exciting. I greet it with enthusiasm, and I feel reborn. And so it is. Let's continue now with a unity statement of being which is shared throughout all unity centers around the world. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the Good, Omnipotent. This is a song by Daniel Nahmod. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my high God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my high God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper. My soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper. My soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper. My soul go deeper into my God. Unity teaches that mankind is endowed with 12 inherent spiritual powers or faculties or abilities that comprise and reflect our divine nature. They are love, imagination, power, judgment, understanding, zeal, elimination, faith, life, order, will, and strength. Today's power is faith. Faith is a deep inner knowing that that which is sought is already ours for the taking. Assurance of things hoped for, as it says in Hebrews. Faith is that quality in us that enables us to look past appearances of lack, limitation, or difficulty, to take hold of the divine idea and believe it even though we may not see evidence of it except in our mind. And so today's affirmation is, I claim my power of faith now. I perceive and spiritually intuit divine ideas. Now comes the time of the service where we enter into our state of gratitude. This is a very important spiritual practice that I recommend you do on a daily basis. You have much to be grateful for. Trust me that you do. So, taking some words of gratitude. I seek and find countless blessings, and I am grateful. Gratefulness is a mindset. I can claim at any moment and cultivate with practice. Learning the value of gratefulness can truly change my life. Looking through the lens of appreciation, I see the world in a new light, clear and crisp rather than cloudy and obscure. Just as I can change the focus on a camera with a simple turn, so too can I change the focus of my life with a simple practice of gratitude. Seeing through the lens of gratitude, my life has a new meaning and joy. A new world is waiting for me to explore and experience as I keep my attention focused on my many blessings. Every day, in every way, I am grateful. And so it is.
So grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed.
As we start this time of inner reflection, let's begin by getting comfortable. Remove all objects from your lap, place your feet on the floor, and sit up comfortably in your chair. Relax the muscles in your face, shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. Feel your hips, legs, feet, and toes relax as well. Release any areas of tension you feel in your body. Take a deep, centering breath. Slowly inhale, gently hold for a few seconds, and then slowly exhale. Repeat a few times. Focus on your inhalation and exhalation as you continue to relax your body. Gently breathe in and out. Just relax and breathe naturally. You now feel the increased sensation of relaxation to your body with every breath. Feel calmness and peace wash over you. Now let's center our attention to the daily word for today, which is world peace. Our Bible verse is from 2 Corinthians 13:11 and reads, "Put things in order, listen to my appeal, agree with one another, live in peace, and the God of love and peace will be with you." Today's affirmation is, I am a peaceful presence to all. Let's say that together once. I am a peaceful presence to all. Our message reads, peace in the world begins with me. I consider it a sacred responsibility to respond to all people and circumstances peacefully. I forgive myself for those moments I am less than peaceful and quickly return to the peace of God in my heart. I'm a living expression of God, just as all people are. My tranquil bearing inspires peacefulness wherever I go and with everyone I meet. Each day, I join like-minded people everywhere in a renewed commitment to be a presence of peace. I give thanks that as each of us communicates God's love in our unique ways, peace and harmony are established in individuals, families, community, and among nations throughout the world. Now let's close our eyes and take these words and this affirmation into the silence.
I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I've got a new day down in my soul. I've got a new day down in my soul. I've got a new day down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home.
Today, I will finalize the series on the 4 agreements based on the book by Don Miguel Ruiz. This morning's lesson is agreement number 3, don't make assumptions, and agreement number 4, always do your best. The third agreement begins by telling us that the problem with making assumptions is that we tend to believe that they are the truth. Because we are not mindful of these agreements, we consequently create a vicious cycle of unneeded misery in our lives. It goes something like this. We make the assumption about what others are doing or thinking. We take it personally. Then we blame them because, of course, nothing's ever our fault. And then we react by sending emotional poison with our word. When we make assumptions, we're asking for problems because of this vicious cycle. We end up creating big drama for ourselves, and more often than not, over nothing. The book says that all the sadness and drama you have had in your life was because you made assumptions and you took things personally. We're asked to take a moment to consider the truth of this statement. We all know how this works because we've all done it. We make assumptions about something, we believe it, we expound it, we add fuel to it. Before we know it, it's completely out of control. And the worst is, usually, it has no basis in reality other than the misery that it causes us. All made up stuff because we made an assumption and we believed it. This is what I call self-imposed nonsense, S-I-N. Self-imposed nonsense, sin. So you can see that a lack of practicing the agreements work with each other to trigger all this drama. And this happens in all aspects of our lives. But think about all that can go wrong when we make assumptions about our relationships. Often we make the mistake that our partners know what we think, and that we don't have to say anything about how we feel, so we don't. And what's the result? Things don't go very well. And our response is, you should have known. Again, another assumption gone wrong. And when you get married, you think that your partner will see marriage the same way that you do. And how long does it take to figure this one out? Not very long. In all our relationships, we make assumptions about what others think, and we don't have to say, and we also don't think we have to say what we feel. Again, we experience a vicious cycle because when they can't figure us out, we get upset with them. And we think, you should know me. I shouldn't have to say this. Once again, that's an assumption. We make all kinds of assumptions because, as the book tells us, we don't have the courage to ask questions, to tell people how we really feel. We also make the assumption that everyone sees life the way we do. The truth is we all see what we want to see. And even then, we make assumptions about what we see. For example, like thinking that how I see things is the right way to see things. That's a huge assumption. Book says when it comes to relationships, real love is accepting your partner the way they are. And of course that's true, and vice versa. Them accepting us the way we are. Now, does that mean we don't need to change? No, we do need to change, and in fact are always changing. But true change comes from within. It's not about another person trying to change us. What happens with that is we end up resenting them because they don't accept us for who we are. We make a big deal of that thing. We take things personally. You can see it. It's a cycle. And because we take things personally, the cycle goes on, and we wonder why we are a mess. The point of these agreements is to break the vicious cycle. When we stop making assumptions, we will communicate clearly, free from emotional poison. With clear communication, all our relationships will change. Author says, a white magician uses the word for positive creating, for giving, for sharing, for loving. And according to the book, this is the goal of the Toltec. It is a way to personal freedom. Last week, I challenged you to begin to catch yourself when you take things personally. Well, this week, I'm going to challenge you to catch yourself when you make assumptions. This brings us to agreement number 4. Always do your best. The last agreement is the one that allows the other 3 to become deeply ingrained habits. The thing to remember about always doing your best is that this action is relative, meaning that since you're always doing your best is always getting better. But for any given time in the present, always do your best, keeping that in mind. And when we're always doing our best, we are always living our lives to the fullest. Doing your best is taking the action because you love it and not because you expect a reward. Here's what the author says about doing your best. The first 3 agreements will only work if you do your best. Don't expect that you will always be able to be impeccable with your word. Your routine habits are too strong and firmly rooted in your mind, but you can do your best. Don't expect that you will never take anything personally. Just do your best. Don't expect that you will never make another assumption, but you can certainly try to do your best. So what is he saying? Just keep after it. Don't give up. Keep moving forward. If you always do your best over and over, you will become a master of transformation. Practice makes the master. It's about repetition. And every time you falter, you get back up and do it again. I've said this many, many times about repetition. And I've used a musical instrument, for example. How long does it take to master an instrument? That's a lot of repetition, a lot. And the book tells us that if we honor these 4 agreements, there is no way that we can live anything other than a really good life. The agreements are a summary of the mastery of transformation, one of the masteries of the Toltec. The book continues with a chapter about getting back on track called Breaking the Old Agreements. Reminds us of being stuck in a system that is controlled by man-made laws and what he calls the big judge. He calls it that we have the judge and the victim and the whole scheme of things, the belief systems, and we can't be free from the judge, the victim, and the belief systems. Our minds kind of has us trapped in there and we're not happy. We are told the first step is to break in this cycle. This spell has used before, is awareness, which is exactly what I've been saying. Catch yourself making or breaking these agreements. There is no reason to suffer. With awareness, you can say that is enough. To be Toltec is a way of life. It is a way of life where there are no leaders and no followers, where you have your own truth and you live your own truth. That sounds kind of unity. There are 3 masteries that lead people to be Toltecs. The first is the mastery of awareness, to be aware of who you really are, with all the possibilities of that. The second is the mastery of transformation. This is about how to change and be free from the domestication. The third is a mastery of intent. Intent, from the Toltec point of view, is that part of life that makes transformation of energy possible. It is the one living being that seamlessly encompasses all energy, or what we call God. Intent is life itself. It is unconditional love. The mastery of intent, therefore, is the mastery of love. The Toltec path to freedom is an entire map, it says, about breaking this, setting ourselves free from this domestication. The judge, the victim, the belief system, the Toltec, they all refer to this as the parasite. And the parasite has control of our minds, and like a multi-headed monster, with each head represents one of our fears. But the parasite, it says it can be defeated in 1 of 3 ways. The first is to attack it head to head, one fear at a time. And although it works, is that this is a slow process. The second approach is stop feeding it. Don't give it control with your emotions. This is doable, but very difficult to do. And that's what we're working on. And the third solution is called the initiation of the dead. The initiation of the dead can be found in many of the world traditions. It is a symbolic death that kills the parasite. The Toltecs say that this is the fastest, but the most difficult. Excuse me. We must be courageous and confront the angel of death. And all this sounds just fine and whatever, but it also sounds like it's something that was created or thought up thousands of years ago. It has that element of that of that field, that consciousness. And it's all well and good and somewhat interesting, but the bottom line is that it is we that need to take charge of our lives and our destinies. It is up to us to choose what to believe and what not to believe, what agreements to make and what agreement not to make. The book ends with a chapter called The New Dream, Heaven on Earth, which of course seems to just be that same goal throughout all tradition, doesn't? Heaven on earth. And of course, because it's about becoming spiritually awake and living our true selves in whatever expression we all happen to be in. In this chapter, he uses the word imagine over and over again. And as you well know, it is one of our 12 powers. And of this power, Unity says, it is through the imagination that the formless takes form. Imagination is the ability to imagine, picture, conceptualize, envision, and dream. Everything starts in the mind with the power of imagination. So keep plugging away at this and imagine the freedom you could have by mastering these agreements. Change your mind, change your world. Make life easier for yourself. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks right here, live and in living color. Take care. Speaker. So now comes a time in our service where we take our tithes, at least mentally, in our heads right now, and we take them in and hold them in our heart, and together we say, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We thank you all for your continued support of this ministry, Unity RGV, and the mission that we have to expand the awareness of our spiritual beingness, our power that we have as co-creators of the universe. And every time that you give of your finances or of your resources of any kind or of your talents, you are adding to this. And as we always say, it's about giving and receiving. You expand your circle and you create a bigger circle, and the circle keeps getting bigger and bigger, and we reach out further and further, and that's the idea. So for all that you do and all that you give, thank you and bless you. Once again, thank you for joining us today, and we invite you to join us again next week and all the coming weeks until we get back to being in person, at which time we certainly invite you to come join us here at our building here in Florida, Texas. In the meantime, have a blessed week. Stay safe. And if you have not been vaccinated, please do so that we can get on with life and get past this. But it's going to take all of us together. So I invite you to do that if it's your choice to do so.